molting season. Evidence. What's up, Midge? Hot enough for you, girl? Melting, guys. Melting. Oh, I hear thunder. Oh, please let it rain. Please let it rain. Brutal, I say. Just gonna set up my hose here. Here you go, Amelia. Come on over here, girl. I got you. Go wade in some water here. Here come the usual suspects. Alrighty. Wait, let me pull the hose further. It's Edward. Water park's open, pal. This is not for them to go underneath. This is for them to walk through and hydrate. That's fine. They will. Oh, it's brutal. It feels awful. It's just awful. Nah, we'll take the rain. We'll take the rain. My hydrangeas need it. My hydrangeas are taking a beating, except for this one up here. I gotta show you this one, and if I could remember the name of it, I would tell you, but I can't. I bought it at Tractor Supply. It's from Proven Winners. I've shown you in the past. But look at these blooms. And if Mr. Chicken Chick puts this fence this close to my hydrangea after lawn mowing one more time, I don't know what the finish to that sentence is, but it drives me nuts. All right, look at these. Look how big they are. They're so perfect. Just so perfect. So stunning. And they bloom for a long time too. I think last year was the first year I had that variety, and it just kept going right through. Look at this. This is the star on the top of the Christmas tree that's about to bloom. But we need a good drenching rain for the hydrangeas. You don't really like to hand water them. It doesn't, you want to give them a good soaking, like once a week, but not little sprinkles throughout the day, throughout the week. So that is that's a limelight. No. Yeah, that's a limelight hydrangea. That one's about to bloom too. I mean, the blooms are about to open up. You know who loves this? Succulents. The succulents love this. Me, not so much. All right. Hello, Robin in Alabama. Say hi, everybody. Let me know where you're looking in from. Hello, Sandra in South Carolina and Gail in Ohio. Let's go collect eggs. Well, let's see, they're walking in the puddles. That's the point. Not the drinking. Drinking's fine. Hydration, great. But I want them walking through those puddles. They have their circulatory system, of course. They have a funky circulatory system in their legs that helps them to not waste body heat in the winter. But I want them getting that blood to their feet cooled off and back to their core in the heat. So in the winter, they're able to conserve that heat with their, I forget the name of it, some sort of circuitous special veining in their legs. But yeah, I mean, can't hurt. It can't hurt, and it can only help. So yeah, they're drinking down. Don't drink downstream of the other birds, just saying. It's like yellow snow and all. All right. So let's go see what's up, you guys, in the nest boxes. Grab a basket here. What do we think? This one, maybe. Got two in the Broody Breaker. That's today's Broody Breaker update. Cleopatra and one of the Crev cores. There's that shiny egg again. Haven't been able to figure out who does that. It's almost pearlescent. Does that translate on video? That is just gorgeous. I don't know who does that, but beautiful work she does. Maybe this won't be big enough. Basket seems a lot smaller with two eggs in it. So let me switch out here. All right. Without breaking them, that's always the goal. All right. good? Oh, not there. It won't fit there. It'll fall through the cracks. All right. Was that it for this nest box? No, there's more. Oh, brutal. It's just oppressive to be out in this. I was just watering the flowers earlier today, and I was just soaking by the you don't want to hear that, right? I was just dripping in sweat. It is that awful. Okay, let's see here. Oh, it looks like someone walked up here on my coleus. I'm going to plant that somewhere. That is not dead. It's only mostly dead. That is not dead. That is a whole new plant right there. Birds. All right, let's see what we got in here. It's getting a little tight in here. All right. Anything in here? No. Anything in here? One. Okay. That's fine. I'll take 1 egg and 2 coleus any day. Oh, I hear rumbles. Yay, bring the thunder. But I can't be in the house for the thunder because the dog freaks out. That just stresses me out. Poor dog. Not a fan of thunder. What's up? I see you. Piper's following me. Help me out. Okay. Away we go. Coop number 3. Oh, I hope I remember to plant these. I'll plant them up on the deck. I've run out of places to plant stuff in the chicken yard. Like, all my pots are spoken for, full, and all right, cool. Couple in here. Pretty. All right, seeing lots of feathers around is a sure sign that egg production is going to dwindle. Oh, yay. I will stay out here in a thunder lightning storm. You probably can't hear the rumbles yet, but I hear them coming from that direction. I will stay out here in the rain, in the thunder, in the lightning. I do not care. Ooh, look at that coloration. Ombre. Our chickens are starting to complain about something. All right, cool. Not the best egg basket, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a nice basket, not the fullest egg basket. All right. So that's what you get. The heat is stressful. Molting is energy and nutrient intensive stuff, and the loss of day length are all playing a role here in our egg production. What's the matter? What's the matter, little guy? He's calling the girls over. That doesn't sound like a weather-related conversation that he's having. So let's keep our eyes peeled for bad guys, predators somewhere. Sometimes there's one in a tree. If that's what he's saying, I wouldn't be so nonchalant about sauntering, sashaying across the yard. Ladies, pick up the pace. Hello, Valerie in Oregon. Hello, Amanda in North Carolina. If anybody has any questions I can help with, now's the time. Seems we may be running out of safe skies here. All right. Abraham, hello to you. Nope. John, this is not a dating site. Go back to whatever troll farm you came from. Okay, I banned him, you guys. Don't talk to John. He's not your friend. He doesn't care how you're doing. He doesn't think you're actually beautiful in your profile picture. You're very clever in your postings. That's a bot. He's a bot or a troll. Fake account. Just wants your credit card. All right. Hello, Lori and Michelle in Florida. Hello, Lydia in South Texas. All right. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how they spam you guys that quickly. Like, crazy. Do I have a video of plants, flowers to have around your run? No, there's not a correct answer to that, Teresa. It's not about the particular plant. So I don't know where you live. I live in zone 6A. So I don't know what your zone is, but things that grow in my zone may not grow in your zone. So you have to, I do have, in my book, The Chicken Chick's Guide to Backyard Chickens, I do have a section, an entire chapter, the last chapter, about landscape gardening with free-range chickens. And so you can get some tips about how to navigate a yard that has pretty things along with your pretty feathered things. But it's not about the plants necessarily. And there is no toxic or unsafe plant or something that does particularly well with chickens necessarily. It's more about where you plant it, how you plant it, and knowing about chicken behavior, how they behave, what they're going to do relative to your flowers and plants, and a lot of it's just going to come down to trial and error. But there are some definite hacks that I have to get established, things that I'll just give you one clue. Garden up where they cannot reach plants. So you can see my my ladder over here in the corner. Gorgeous begonias, I think. Those little dollar store planters are screwed into the ladder. And I know from experience with my flock that they don't bother the Swedish ivy. So I can plant that nice and low. They're not going to pick at it. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter why. As long as they don't, I'm going to plant as much of it as I can in as many places as I can. But I would never plant petunias or super bells close to beak level, because I know that, and certainly nothing white. White definitely is a draw to their eye. And they're not about eating stuff because they enjoy the flavor of it. They usually don't eat flowers or plants. They usually just pick them and let them fall, because that's how chickens explore their world, you know? They're like, oh, what's that? And then they'll just toss it. And I wish they would deadhead my plants for me, but they won't. But they would pick that off, and you can't let them pick your plants. So gardening up is a good strategy. So I know that they would knock those pots off the ladder if they had the opportunity, if they could get close to it. So I screw the pots into the ladder. Again, garden up, garden up, garden up. And sometimes things that worked last year or the past 5 years are not going to work next year. So I have always had sweet potato vines that have done beautifully in my containers. And this year, it's not the chickens so much that have been killing them, but a beetle. But because the beetle has been bothering those, the chickens see the holes in them, and they've been pulling out the sweet potato vines this year. So sweet potato vine is not happening this year in this yard. So I may phase it out for, the other coleus that's the same color next year, instead of trying to, you can't fight City Hall. The chickens are City Hall. So you just have to be prepared to be flexible and to adjust your methods. But those are a couple of examples of how to sort of work around their behaviors. You know that they're going to want to dig around the plants. You know that they might hop onto things and hop into things. And so you try to make them inaccessible. And there's a whole host of things that I do to try to make the flowers inaccessible to the chickens. So you can read about some of that stuff on my in my book if you have it. If you don't have it, it's available on Amazon, and I have a clickable link to it in the pinned comment here. You can go to my shop, my Amazon links. Guys, if you are shopping on Amazon at any point this week, it's some sort of Prime Days. That's why you're seeing every social media site trying to get you to an Amazon product right now. Prices are, you know, I think it's like the white sale of Amazon for for the year. And so everybody with an Amazon affiliate account is trying to get you to go to theirs. If you're shopping for stuff generally this week, if you could start your journey in my Amazon affiliate shop, I would appreciate that. It's one way to support me and to help you support your chickens. I get a small commission for whatever you buy. It doesn't have to be the chicken products or whatever I have in my Amazon shop, but as long as you navigate through that way, I'd appreciate it. So just bookmark my Amazon shop if you're planning to. At any time of the year, really, it doesn't matter when, but I get a small credit for anything that you purchase when you go through my shop. So appreciate that. Hello, Kathy. She thought her girls were freeloaders in the heat, but she found that they were hiding eggs. Yeah, that's fun. That's always fun to find a big stash of eggs. Yep, free-range chickens are special. They can be. All right, any other notes? Hi, Michael. Have the petunias starts in front of the roses taken? Oh, Michael's asking. So this is a problem, Michael. And this is a rabbit problem. This is not a chicken problem. I planted, Michael's asking about these pink petunias over here. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them right now. But they were all, all those little green shoots had petunias from when I trimmed back my leggy petunias on the top of the chicken run a week or two ago, and the rabbit has been eating the petunia flowers off the top of them. So I'm kind of mad about it, but there's nothing you can do about that. So I'm just gonna have to suck it up. So same in here. And no, the rose branch didn't take. So we try something else. Got to admit defeat when wildlife cannot be defeated. Deborah says her neighbor's dog came onto her property and killed one of her chickens. This is the second time. The neighbor was apologetic and said what? Her dog broke through the door when she was letting him out. I'm pretty upset about it. I would be sufficiently upset that after the first dog chicken attack that I would have put up fencing in my yard to keep that dog out of my yard and my chickens in my yard. So that may be a solution for you. But by the second time, that dog has no business being on your property. By that time, I would be insisting on some sort of compensation for that. That's not okay. There are leash laws in every jurisdiction, and it's not okay. She wouldn't like it if your chickens came over to her rose garden and tore up her mulch or killed her marigolds or what have you. And I assure you they will tear up marigolds for some reason. But that's not okay. If you're an animal keeper, you have an obligation to keep your animals on your property. That goes for chickeneers and dog owners alike. So, but yeah, the lesson should have been the first one. You know, I would put up, and these kind of fences can be made electric, Deborah. You know that I talk about these all the time. These come from Premier One Supplies. This is called the VersaNet Plus. There's a clickable link to it in the pinned comment. And you can plug that into a portable charger. This is an electric fence. I don't have it electrified. I don't need it electrified for my chickens, which is the purpose I have it here for, just to keep them out. And it does keep them out, provided I put it up correctly and there's no gaps. But that should keep your neighbor's dog out of your property, but your neighbor's obligation to you is to keep her dog on her property. So I would make sure that you report that to the police department as well as the animal control officer in your town, because it's already happened twice and it shouldn't happen a third time. You got to protect yourself and let your neighbor know that you find it unacceptable, and they need to pay you back the $3.50 for your chicken and whatever it costs to feed them for as old as they are. The problem is chickens are not viewed as very valuable in our society, and replacement value is all you're ever going to get from, I wouldn't even go to small claims court over it. It's just not I'm not giving you legal advice. I am a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer. But I wouldn't personally go to even to small claims, because you're only going to get replacement value of the chicken, and you're never going to get the pet value of it back. So yeah, you really have to protect yourself, because you're never going to get the courts or your neighbor to protect your chickens. That sucks. I'd be mad. Hello, Elizabeth in Colorado. But it's foreseeable. It really is foreseeable. Dogs are the #1 predator of backyard chickens, guys. Domesticated dogs and feral dogs. #1 killer of backyard chickens. It's usually the chickeneer's own dog that does it, so we tend not to hear as much from people about how their dog killed their chicken, because we feel some shame about it, which, you know, I don't think you should. I think you should just understand that your dog, and if you know that your dog has, if it's a birding type dog or a herding type dog or a working dog of some sort, those dogs tend to have higher prey drives, and you have to know that if you have the kind of dog that will lose its little doggy mind when it sees a squirrel out the back door and want to chase it, if it can get out that door, if you know your dog has that kind of prey drive, you should never let him near your chickens. And most of us know that before we ever get chickens, if we have the dog first. So kind of have to go into it with eyes wide open when you have a dog that has a high prey drive. Alrighty, let's see. Paula says she hasn't seen me recently. Hello from Indiana. I know, it's the algorithm, Paula. It's the Facebook algorithm. So if you don't see me and you'd like to see my content in your news feed, go ahead and like this post, for example. Comment, when stuff comes across your news feed. Sharing it tells the algorithm that you want to see my stuff. And if you don't see me for, I don't know, more than 4 hours in any given day, you should come looking for me, because something bad has happened to me. I am here every single day, multiple times a day, since, the past 12 years? Past 12 years, every single day. Whether I'm on vacation, in the hospital, away on business, doesn't matter. I'm here. So come looking for me if you don't see me. All right. Hello, Rachel in Oregon. Sherry says she's checking out my nest boxes. She's interested in the red coop. Do I have the wood on hinges? Yes, it is on hinges. I hate that coop. I hate everything about that coop. That used to have 6 nest boxes. I took a hammer to the dividers in between, several of them, to make the nest boxes wider so that more chickens can fit in one and they don't have to sit on top of each other when they're sharing the nest, as they always will. But they're too shallow. So from front to back, or back to front, however you view it, they're much too shallow. So it's a lousy design. So we tried to, Mr. Chick and I tried to implement roll-away nest boxes to deal with an egg eating problem years and years ago, and we're still, sort of always kicking around ideas for what will work to protect the eggs from the chickens, and from accidental breakage, not just intentional breakage. But roll-away nest boxes are really the only sure solution to an egg eating problem. But the problem is, every single coop is different. Every coop, it has different dimensions. I mean, every coop in my yard, certainly every coop from chickeneer to chickeneer. So there's not one solution that works for everyone. So I have 3 different rollout nest box systems in one in each of my coops. So the one that I like the best is the rollaway one that has the orange paint trays that I get from Home Depot or Lowe's or Tractor Supply. And I have a real that shows how Mr. Chicken Chick made those. And those tend to work the best, but sometimes you just have to be creative. They don't fit in these other two coops. We bought that coop originally in 2009. That was our first coop. And then Mr. Chicken Chick made that one. But this one I designed and have built. So I made sure that the nest boxes were ginormous and that it had a removable divider so that you can make a communal nest box. So you can make four nest boxes into 2 large ones in there. So there's some flexibility. Oh, look at you rarely see butterflies on these petunias, but look at the swallowtail. She's so pretty. Black swallowtail with the blue. So pretty. Don't go away. So pretty. I can't see her now. So yeah, sometimes you just have to be creative based on what you have going on and what you're working with. It's not a one-size-fits-all to most stuff in Chickenville. Hello, Cindy in Pennsylvania. Hello, Lisa in Maryland. Yeah, it's the dew point, right? It's horrible. It's just horrible. Hello, Trevor. Where are you looking in from? Hello, Oscar. And Kevin. Hello, Cesar and Delora. Any other questions that I can help with? What's going on, Matthew? I'm going to need more chickens to appreciate the stream, or I'm going to turn it off. We have well water, so I'm not really bothered by wasting water. We have a well, like a legit well. And for electricity, we make our own electricity too. We have solar panels. So yeah, for those of you in California who are having palpitations, and I have running water in the backyard for the chickens, I can justify it. Hello, Danielle in Australia, where it's what, winter? All right, let's see. Hello, Pelly and Debbie in Houston. Sherry said she put a kiddie pool out for her chickens and they were horrified by it. And what? Yeah, most chickens are not waterfowl. So you need to understand, you can try putting out a very shallow kiddie pool for your chickens with the idea that it's for them to wade in. So you never want it deeper than they are high. And you always want to provide them with an opportunity to like stand on bricks in it in order to get out, because it's going to be slippery. But most chickens, most flocks are not interested in like going into the pool and trying to swim around. They're not swimmers. They can swim, but not for long periods, and their feathers are not sufficiently waterproofed as ducks are. And they're just not, they don't have webbed feet, so they're not good swimmers. So it's not for swimming, and most chickens don't appreciate getting wet. So it's really more for drinking and for, wading in to cool off their body temperature through their feet and legs. But I don't really like the whole chickens. They're going to poop in it. When they're standing in it, they're going to poop in it, and then they're going to drink it. And I don't like that. I don't like that. It bugs me. And so, but my chickens won't go in a kiddie pool anyway. I've tried any number of times over the years, and different flocks go for different stuff. So if it works for your chickens, more power to them. They're smarter than mine. Oh, that's a bad idea, Sherry. You got chicks found on the side of the road, hens on the side of the road. Yeah, that's the most dangerous thing that you can do from a biosecurity perspective. I would not bring them into your flock. If your birds are your pets, taking in birds that have lived someplace else is a no-no. It's very, very dangerous. And it from a disease and illness perspective, even if the chickens appear well, they can be recovered carriers of pathogens, diseases, illnesses that they can shed in times of stress, like being left on the side of the road, because they're probably cockerels. People do that when they figure out, oh, I have a rooster, I can't keep them, I'm going to dump them on the side of the road and someone will feel bad for them and save them. But I would bring them to animal control. There are people who have sanctuaries who are willing to take that disease risk, but it is a really bad idea if these are your pets to put them at risk that way. Everybody in the commercial poultry industry knows that that is a cardinal sin, and that's why they have an all-out, all-in policy. There's a predator somewhere, guys. That's what this is. Both of the boys are talking about it. Let's see what they're looking at. Sometimes there's a bear in the woods that they see or heard, and sometimes there's a deer. They're not bothered by the bunny rabbit. But it could also be a raptor that I can't see in the tree that they saw land. But that's exactly what this conversation is right here. The boys are warning the hens about a danger that they saw. But all the other hens aren't cluing in. What are you doing up there exactly? Get off there. Yeah, go into the coop into the chicken run if you feel, Colette, that there's an issue. Come on. Ow! I've been flogged. I only have one hand. Let's see here. Any other questions about the heat? Or what else were we talking about? Good fences make good neighbors, says Michael. Yeah. Not really, but at least keeps them distant, a little at bay. Janet says she just bought Chicken Chick branded Sweet Coop for the first time. Fabulous. Going to use it on your droppings boards or in your kitty litter box? What? What's your plan? Hello to Sherry in Maryland. Rainstorms in Rochester, says Pam. I'm jealous. There's one moving through. I feel like it's going to miss us because the sun's trying to peek out over that way. I feel like it's going to miss us. There's a big thunderstorm cell rolling through. I know, Christine, it's hot everywhere. Oh, Sherry wants to know about, those are feed bags. If you go to chickenchick.com, Sherry, I have an article entitled Why Nesting Material Matters, and you can see the setup that I have in photos there. But the white liner is an empty feed bag. It's like that Tyvek material, and I just cut up empty feed bags and line the nests with them so that if an egg breaks or is broken, or if a chicken has a digestive issue in your nest box and poops in your nest box, that you can take the plastic nest pad off the liner and just throw the liner away. You don't have to scrape egg yolk off the nest box floor, and it's much easier to keep the nest boxes clean that way. So no, don't use puppy pads with your chickens, not in a brooder for the first week. I mean, in the brooder, it's fine for a limited purpose. No, they can eat it, Janet. It's grit. It's totally safe to eat. The Sweet Coop is insoluble. It will not hurt them. It is literally volcanic ash, and it's totally fine. It will not dissolve in their digestive tract. It will act just like sand in their gut. So if they do ingest it, it's going to simply act like grit, and they will pass it out their digestive tract. All right. Yeah, quarantining them is what you're describing, Sherry, but that doesn't make them safe. Just because they don't start coughing and dying doesn't mean that it's a best practice. It's not. Go to my website and read about quarantine. I wrote an article about it after one of my followers lost her entire flock because she wanted to get some a breed that she was interested in, and she thought she she got them from a reputable breeder, and it doesn't matter. The entire flock died as a result after scads of money paid to a vet to determine what respiratory illness they brought with them. They were not exhibiting signs of at the time, and everybody ended up dying. So chickens have different immunities that they've developed to different pathogens in wherever it is that they live, and you don't know how people care for their chickens, and you don't know what they're exposed to. And it doesn't matter if they're if they call themselves an actual breeder. They can still be carriers of non-lethal diseases that can plague your flock for the rest of their living days. So it's not always about what's deadly, it's about what's a best practice. So quarantining never eliminates the risk that you may be bringing disease into your flock, even if you do it properly, which most people don't. So, ooh, there's good thunder. Most people don't do quarantine properly, but quarantining is not a guarantee that the birds in quarantine are not going to shed pathogens and make your birds sick. There are no guarantees. That's just a short-term waiting period for some of, things like mites and lice, and for you to be able to become a parent, or for you to be able to treat them for worms, or for the stress that they're now under to start affecting and suppressing their immune system so that they start shedding those pathogens. And that's the story in that quarantine article. There are best practices for quarantining, but again, it is not a guarantee that those birds are not carriers of disease. So when someone dumps chickens on the side of the road, that is not a good thing. It says something about them and their management of birds and their judgment. It also says they've lived someplace else, and now they've exposed them to who knows what, wherever they dump them on the side of the road. It's just not safe. I started to talk about the commercial poultry industry having an all-in, all-out policy with their chicks, and there's a reason for it. I mean, they have a financial interest in keeping their chickens 100% healthy, and very strict biosecurity measures. Like if you drive say you're a delivery driver and you drive a truck onto their property, you have to wash and then sanitize your tires before you pull into the facility. That's how easy it is to transmit disease. You can transmit it on clothing and tools and tires, and it can travel in the air. So there's all kinds of different issues. And we don't have vets to clean up our messes when we make mistakes with our birds. That's the problem for backyard flocks. The commercial poultry industry, every one of their commercial houses has a dedicated commercial poultry veterinarian. I can probably count on one hand the number of poultry veterinarians who care exclusively for backyard chickens in the United States. It's just not, it's not a profitable business. It's not it's just not done. The money to be made in those careers is in the commercial poultry industry, and most veterinarians don't get poultry training in vet school. If they do, it's for like 5 minutes before midterm exams or spring break, and no one's paying attention. So poultry is bottom of the priority animal pile still in our society. People don't care that these are now pets for you. So most of us don't have vets to diagnose a problem and then treat it properly when we do bring disease into our flocks. And there's some diseases you can bring into your flock that are never going to go away once they're in, unless you depopulate the whole thing. And that's what a commercial facility would do for certain diseases. So we have to be uber careful in backyard flocks that we do the safe things and don't do the things that are going to potentially cause heartbreak. So read that lady's story. It's super sad. If you're looking to be super, no, it's a caution. It's an important cautionary tale, because most backyard chickeneers don't have a way of appreciating the danger. Let's see. Hang on. I'm trying to read while I'm talking. That's not a good thing usually. Yeah, it's a bad idea, Sherry. It doesn't matter how old they are. If they live someplace else, that's the risk. I know. It's not information you want to hear. And plenty of people do it, and plenty of people get away with it. Plenty of people dodge that bullet. But do you really want to be the one who watches all your chickens die? Like, I don't. I brought disease into my flock as a chickeneer way back in the beginning when I didn't know any better. And I can tell you that it is not fun to have to deal with, and to just wait until the day when you stop seeing signs of that disease in your flock, and to lose birds, knowing that it was something that you did. Do I use fans in the coops? I do, Christina. Yes, I have fans in every coop. If you're going to put a fan in your chicken coop, which is a great idea, number one, make sure that you have windows on all four sides of your coop. Like real windows that, I mean, they don't have to be glass, but real big holes that are predator proofed with welded wire, that predators can't get in through, but air can flow through. Ventilation slats or slots or holes are not for temperature regulation and are not very important in backyard flocks. What matters is air movement for the to aid the chickens at night while they're in the coop trying to sleep and not overheat when it's hot. So if you don't have 4 windows in your coop, just make some more. Make some more big holes. We did that in this chicken coop that I already told you I hate, because this was our first chicken coop and it was so hot in here. So Mr. Chicken Chick took a reciprocating saw and cut this hole out of the side and cut that big hole out of that side of the coop. Now we have windows on all 4 sides of the coop and a fan, and that moves air. So it's air movement for the purpose of regulating, maintaining a temperature that the chickens can survive in overnight. So most chicken coops are not fit for chickens to sleep in overnight because they don't have air movement. So, but if you're going to use a fan in conjunction with windows on all 4 sides of the coop, make sure that the fan itself has an enclosed motor, because chickens are super dusty. Chickens themselves are super dusty. And if you've kept chickens for 6 weeks or more, you already know that. And it will kill the fan really quickly. All that dust will kill the fan. So it has to be for designed for agricultural purposes, and have a completely sealed motor. Otherwise, it's just going to last for a while and then just die. All right, let's see. What else, guys? What else can I help with? Hello, Chris in West Virginia. And you're welcome. Storms in Illinois. Lucky you. Yeah, we could all use some rain, I think. That's an old flock there, Sherry. 5 years old. The safest way to add to your flock is with chicks from an NPIP certified hatchery, not pullets. They too have lived on somebody's farm that works for the hatchery. Chicks. They've never lived anyplace else, and that is as clean as you can get. So it has to be NPIP certified and legitimate, not like a guy down the street who calls himself a breeder. Letting your chickens mate in your yard does not make you a breeder. So yeah, you got to be wary, super wary. Well, Sherry, that comes with a price too. Sherry adds to her flock by hatching fertilized eggs. So you can actually purchase or acquire fertilized eggs and be bringing disease into your flock that way. There are some diseases that are transmitted through the egg, but if they're fertilized eggs from your own flock, the problem with that for most backyard chicken keepers is that you have to plan that every single chick that you hatch may be a rooster. So that is a risk that most folks can't afford to take. You have to plan on what to do with roosters that you cannot keep. And that severely limits your enthusiasm for hatching more chicks the next time when you get 10 out of 12 chicks that hatch and they're all male. That's a bummer. So yeah, there's upsides and downsides. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go in the house where it's air conditioned, and I appreciate you guys looking in for a little bit. Please visit my website for tons of tips about how to help your chickens beat the heat. The reel that I shared earlier this afternoon has a clickable link to get to that article, so you don't even have to type it into the search bar at chickenchick.com. You can just click right on that. Lots of things you can do to help your chickens stay alive in this weather. They're just not built for it. I don't care that they originated in the jungle. I don't want to hear somebody say they're jungle fowl, descendants of jungle fowl. Jungle fowl are not the same as backyard chickens in suburbia USA. I mean, same species, but they still have body temperatures of 107 degrees Fahrenheit. They're completely wrapped in down jackets, and they do not have sweat glands. So they are not built for temperatures that are in 90 degree and hotter range. So you really have to help them stay alive. There's a lot of people that are having chickens that are dying right now because of the temperatures. So you gotta do the best you can. And there's a ton of tips in that article for you. So if you haven't seen it before, I think you'll find it helpful. All right, so that's going to do it from here for now, you guys. Until next time, keep it simple, and we'll talk again soon. Stay cool. Bye now.